Hey guys, it's Bradley. Welcome back to the channel, Portly Gentleman. On this channel, I do all sort of homebrewing related stuff, DIY stuff, a lot of brew tool stuff, Unitank stuff, and that's what brings us to this video today. Today I am lucky enough, thanks to Simi Valley Homebrew, for lending me a brand new Brewbuilt X1 Unitank. Alright guys, so please remember to subscribe, it really helps the channel out. I got a lot of cool videos on the way, a couple projects. I got the brand new MaltZilla right here in my hand. I've yet to set it up, but that will happen very, very soon. And there will be a video once I've had a chance to put it through its paces, I assure you. Alright, let's jump right into the video. The first part of the video will be an unboxing and assembly. The second part will move into my final thoughts and kind of my concerns and what I think of the Unitank. Huge thanks to Simi Valley Homebrew for lending me this fermenter for the video. I could not have made this video without them. They ship grain kits all over the United States, so if you don't have a local homebrew shop in your area, check out Simi Valley Homebrew online. I will link their information in the bio. They're an awesome store if you live close. They literally have everything, grain and equipment to the ceilings. Trust me, it's a little claustrophobic with homebrewing equipment when you get inside of there, but they're really awesome people. Jay and Ralph, thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. Research it, mash it, boil it, ferment it, drink it, analyze it, share it. Homebrewing is good. Alright, here she is in the box. Super excited to have it in the studio. Let's open this thing up. My favorite DeWalt box cutter. This thing's like a katana for cutting boxes. It's badass. So first thing you see is the seal and the silicone for the blow-off tube, as well as the feet, and then the shiny stainless lid. Everything's really nicely packaged. I think it'll definitely make it anywhere in the US packaged like this without issue. And this thing is shiny. It'll never be this clean, especially you have water as hard as I do in Southern California. Hard water just ruins everything. Some of the packing out of the way. There's our first look at the top of this thing. It has that big band clamp. I was kind of concerned about this at first. Reminds me of a pool filter. And then here's an accessory box in the very bottom. Let's look in the accessory box real quick. Everything's packed in there pretty well. All the components are just wrapped up in bubble wrap and tissue paper or whatever. This was a little surprise in this box. Again, my beloved katana box cutter. Open this up. Inside of this box was actually several stickers, as well as a very nice flex fit cap, a couple of pint glasses, and two super cool silicone coasters. I wish I could keep this stuff. This is a really classy touch. All right, there it is, the main event. That's why we're here, just to look at this thing. We're going to assemble it too. It is shiny, like I said before. All of the welds here are really top notch. I had a hard time finding any area that wasn't perfectly polished. There are a couple spots. Nothing is perfect, but really the polish on this is second to none. It definitely looks better, and the fit and finish is better than, say, the competition like my 14-gallon SS Brewtech Unitanks. All the laser engraving is on my unit. The one I got is beautiful. There's a couple marks from welding on the legs inside. The body is thinner than an SS Unitank, so keep that in mind. And the inside, it's perfectly polished. My SS tanks are not that nice inside, trust me. There's a look at the lower flange. That is a full-size port, not like an SS. At least its racking port is tiny. It's not a full-size port. More of the welds on the legs. It has 4 legs. That's a huge upgrade, I think. 4 legs is definitely going to add to stability. It's also much wider than the SS 14-gallon, and maybe even the other Spike, I think, which is going to lend this to be a very stable unit. They've made it a little squattier, and there's that lower 2-inch sanitary flange, and just beautifully welded. There's the feet. These things are, if you've seen the bottom of an SS, they're not that nice, as well as these other struts to kind of help everything stay square. It's all finished just perfectly. There's one of the feet. These are massive, and they're not an odd size thread. The thread pitch is very standard. They also, looks like they sell wheels. That's compared to a foot that came on an SS 14-gallon Unitank. Just everything about this, they've really done their homework. To me, it says stable. Let's flip it over. and start to assemble this guy. So there's all the components laid out and unwrapped. That big 2-inch butterfly, it's got multiple locking points. That temperature probe is significantly longer than the SS. The racking probe, the blow-off, and then the lid with its pressure relief on there. It's like an emergency relief. I don't think it should be trusted for pressure fermentation. The seal, it just fits in that groove nicely. It's held in with tension. It's not hard at all to get in there. Just work it in. There's the lid fitting on top. And here's this clamp. At first I thought this clamp was going to be problematic or I wouldn't like it. I don't think I would mind it. It kind of fits in there just perfectly. There's beautiful instructions that I didn't grab B-roll of that really articulate nicely the best way to get this installed. You can kind of see it has a slope on the back of that channel, and that T-looking piece just fits right in there, and it tightens down no problem. Next, I'm dropping on the top cover. This is the base model. It just has a big tri-clamp cap, but this is where you could insert a cooling stick or other things we'll talk about in a little while. Just getting it all put on, and just it's shiny. There's a blow off, just more shiny stainless. Again, any little nicks here, guys, you have to have, you know, a really good camera lens and lighting to pick it up. And there's that supplied silicone tube. It's the perfect length for the blow off. There's that nice long temperature probe. A little longer wouldn't hurt, but it is better than what comes on the SS. There's that racking valve. A little bit of dirt from polishing. You will have to, you know, thoroughly clean this and maybe passivate it as well before you use it. I recommend TSP and acid to clean it. There's the big 2-inch dump valve. That guy goes in the bottom with no 90. I'm not sure how I feel about this design. I'd really have to have a chance to use it for a while to see what I think about it. But as it is, it looks great. In practice, how this works with dry hopping, I couldn't say. I'm curious about it. All right, guys, if you couldn't tell from the unboxing and assembly process of the video, I really actually like it. I think it's a very nicely built and put together Unitank. There are some things that are kind of unknown to me. Is the Brewbuilt flex chamber. It's made out of plastic. It's supposedly a very advanced plastic called Triton. That seems kind of cool. I really wish I had the chance to dry hop with it and catch some yeast with it and kind of, see how yeast harvesting goes. That'd be pretty cool to do with it. Also the cooling system on this guy. So I have been told that the cooling rods, that they don't quite have them fully spec'd out for like a cold crashing lager temperature. I think right now, this is not gospel. I think that they're rated for fermentation temperature control. Whether or not they can fully lager, I don't think it's officially available. Hopefully it will be soon. I know the high-end Unitank with the Peltiers, I think they say that one can do 30 degrees less than ambient temperature. Again, you have to ask more beer or Brewbuilt about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on with that particular model. I know one of the motivations for the cooling stick was that it's able to be cleaned much easier than having to clean a coil, and I would agree, coils can be difficult to clean. I do have a full CIP process video that I will link that kind of goes over my method. Believe it or not, I do not mechanically scrub my SS Unitanks at all whatsoever. I'm that lazy, and I just don't have to be honest anymore. So overall, you can tell this thing, when it's put together, it is beautiful. It's finished nearly perfectly. Any kind of, if you have a polished finish, it won't be 100% perfect. Nothing ever is 100% perfect. I mean, to be honest, it's still polished by people. So there will be some minor kind of scuffs and stuff here and there, but it's so minimal. The thing is super shiny. I really like that it's kind of a squattier design. It's going to have a little bit more stability. I like that it has handles. I don't know if those handles are rated for carrying a brewer like me, where the brewery here is the garage, and I actually ferment inside the house. So we kind of have to pick up our current Unitanks like a step to get them inside the house. If we could use these handles to lift, that would make it a lot easier, and I think that's a very nice addition, if indeed they're rated for the vessel's full weight when full. Another nice touch is that 2-inch dump. I really think that's awesome. So that floating dip tube, I think, is a pretty good idea. I'm not a huge fan of the plastic Unitanks that use it, but there's nothing like those. They also produce this, more beer sells it, made by Kegland here. This guy is a filter, and it hooks to one of the ball and hooks to the hose. So this might be a good thing to throw in there. I think they're like $4. I got one just to kind of, you know, check it out. But that might be a good option, and I'm sure you could buy that and adapt it, and it will work just fine. Maybe it'll come in the kit. That would really be something. Speaking of something, those extra goodies, I believe they're not committing to putting those in every single one, but currently the cups, the stickers, those coasters are way better than a paper coaster. That's for sure. It's nice to see that stuff in there. The pint glasses look sweet. Everyone needs a nice pint glass. Like I mentioned in the kind of the assembly portion video, the threads look to be a standard pitch to me. They also sell a set of wheels for $60, whereas SS Brewtech sells wheels for $100. No wheel is worth $100, SS Brewtech. Granted, they sell $30 ones, but those are garbage. That's what I have. They're endless frustration. The fermenters just, my SS Brewtech Unitanks are just tippy. Only thing I didn't get immediate clarification on is what they're doing for carbonation. So I'd like to see what kind of carbonation stone they recommend. I imagine you could put it in that sampling port. The sampling port to me is kind of strange. I think I would use the floating dip tube over that. Also, the sampling port does not come with any sort of a racking arm. I thought that was strange. They do sell rotating racking arms that'll fit this guy. Again, it is a full diameter port, so there's lots of room for whatever you want. I really wish I had the chance to kind of keep this fermenter in the brewery for about 2 or 3 months and have a chance just to kind of play with it and put it through its paces. In my mind, there's no reason to ever buy a Conical again. This thing is about the same price as a Conical. It's like a few dollars more, but instantly you can have a Unitank when you're ready for it. That may appeal to some buyers. I'll personally just pull the trigger on a Unitank if I'm going to do it. But like I said, the Conical, don't get one of those. Buy this thing. It's way better designed. The fit and finish is way better. Trust me, I used to have a Conical, and it was even one of the older ones that was probably better than the newer ones. But still, these things are built pretty nicely. The welds are all beautiful, as you can see from all this footage. All right, guys. Lastly, one last time, thank you so much to Simi Valley Homebrew for letting me play with this thing for a few hours and kind of get to know it a little bit, kind of have my way with it. That's always a good time. Remember, this has been Bradley. Home brewing is good, and I'll see you real soon.